Recently, we had gone through a process with a property where we actually had to complete an eviction, and it was not the scariest thing I've ever been through, for sure. I was intimidated by the idea of having an eviction. We had owned properties for 5 years before we even ever had to deal with it, so we were unsure, and it was the worst case scenario. The house was left a complete mess. The tenant hadn't paid for 2 months. They destroyed the property before they left, and we've had to spend a lot of money just to fix it back up, buying new appliances because they destroyed the other appliances. But I will say, the process for us has been consistent. Every time we get a tenant, we have a move-in inspection report where we walk through the property with them, write down anything that could be a scratch here, a dent here, this piece is broke, this piece is broke, and we fix what we need to fix at the time. But before they move in, we know, is there something here that we should know about? That way, when they move out, we can refer back to that. Hey, there was a scratch here. That's not your responsibility. So we have those two move in and move out inspection forms. But also, like when somebody's moving out, they give you the notice. It's very important for you to be able to send them a list of expectations. And when I say expectations, we expect you to leave the property clean and ready for someone to move in right away. So we send them a list, and each on this list, each thing that we want done. We want the windows cleaned. We want the cabinets cleaned. We want the countertops wiped down. We want the appliances pulled out and swept and vacuumed to make sure that the house is completely spotless. Each of those items has a cost association with it. So if we have to do it, this is how much it's going to cost. If you have to do it, then you get your full deposit back. So on this most recent example, they gave us the notice at the beginning of the month. We sent them the form. Hey, here's the list of common deductions. Here's what we expect the house to look like when we get it back. We'll schedule your move out for the 30th of the month. And when we come and inspect, if everything is exactly how we want it on this list, you'll get your full deposit back. So, long story short, we went and inspected the property. I took the list with me. I walked through every room, pulled the stove out, pulled the fridge out, looked behind every nook and cranny, looked in all the cabinets. The house was absolutely perfect. The house had looked like it had almost never been lived in. It was beneficial for me. First off, they get their deposit back. I want my tenants to get their deposit back. But in order to do that, I want my property left in the condition that I don't have to spend tons of money cleaning it back up to bring in another tenant. So it's beneficial for them because I'm telling them how to get their full deposit back, but it's beneficial to me because I don't have to spend money turning the property, repainting, cleaning, taking out debris and trash, and then which is consuming time that I could be listing that property for rent. So in this case, we walked through, they got 100% of their deposit back, and the very next day a new tenant moved in. It was the best experience. I had no out costs, no overhead costs to do a turn. Normally a turn is going to cost me $2,500 to $3,000 between cleaning, touching up paint, changing out window blinds, all of those things. It's going to cost me a lot of money. This time I didn't have to do that. It saved me money. I got another tenant in there, and this is 4 years that I've never missed a payment on rent on that one property. So this is the benefit and the reason why you should do move in and move out inspections and send these tenants a list of common deductions before they get their deposit back. If you want these forms, go to dealmachine.com/deposit and we will send you the documents.
Thanks for listening to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.